guys, it's Lauren. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing like my high school experience, going through my high school yearbooks and spilling all the tea that I have on my high school experience. So this has been requested on my Instagram a lot actually, which I didn't even think these videos existed, but whenever I was looking them up, there's actually numerous videos on their high school experience. So I went ahead and pulled out my 4 yearbooks from my 4 years in high school. I went to 2 different high schools, one public and then one private. I went to the public school freshman and sophomore year, and then junior and senior year I decided to go to the private school. Also, if you hear like a lawnmower, any like noise, our lawn guy is here this morning and I did not know that whenever I decided to film this video. Also, another disclaimer, I laid out yesterday with my friend and I'm so burned. Like, do you see this? Not okay. I never lay out. You guys know that I always self-tan. So your girl looks like a lobster like all over her body. Okay, so I started writing down things once I got this request, and I asked you guys on my Instagram what you guys wanted to see, if you wanted to see my everyday makeup tutorial or this video, and this video won like by far. Once this got requested and I knew I was going to be filming this and uploading this Friday, I figured that I should start writing down things that I remember from my high school experience. And guys, I'm not even gonna lie, my blood started boiling whenever I started writing all this stuff, just remembering everything that happened during high school. This video is not intended to expose anyone or get revenge on anyone. I never was the person to fight back if someone was going to argue or like bully me. I was going to like step back because I always knew that if I fought fire with fire, I was just going to get burned in the long run, and it wasn't going to help my situation whatsoever. So basically I kind of tried just to step out of that situation and just like kind of exclude myself from everyone. I'm normally pretty quiet, pretty shy, normally stay to myself. A lot of these things I haven't talked about with anyone, so here you go. Hi friends. You know everything about me. A lot of the things that happened, I wouldn't go to my guidance counselor about it. I wouldn't go to my principal about it. I would basically just kind of keep it to myself just because I didn't want to get anyone in trouble and I didn't want to get involved with anything. Also, I'm going to be keeping a very close look at the comments on this video. I don't think it's going to be a problem. If it is, I will just disable the comments completely on this video. I don't really think a lot of people from high school will be watching this video personally, because once I started growing my channel and I made my Instagram more of like a business platform rather than like a personal platform, a ton of people from my high school unfollowed me, and I kind of expected it. Almost everyone that watches my YouTube videos do not know me. They just know me through YouTube and they know me through their computer or phone screen, which I love you guys. We just hit 8K on YouTube, so thank you so much for that. But yeah, just like wrapping this all up, I'm not meaning for this to be like a James Charles and like Tati situation. Your girl's not like that. She is not drama oriented. Keep that over there. So I'm just being completely transparent, completely real, like I try to be in every single one of my vlogs with you guys. So I'm just going to like go through my notes of like the year and then go through the yearbook. Okay, so freshman year, I don't really remember my freshman year. I remember dressing up every day and everyone commenting on it. Like I would wake up at like 5 in the morning and I would do my hair and makeup and I would dress cute every single day. I always made sure that I looked presentable and that I looked the best that I could. Now looking back at it, that was really stupid. Also during freshman year, I was switching friend groups more. So my middle school friend group, they were kind of getting into like the bad things and like bad people. So like I was trying to transition into like a new friend group. 2 girls were in like my singing or like vocal class and we hit it off, and so I started like hanging out with their friend group more. Oh, this is something that I remembered. Okay, so I remember trying out for JV cheer. I was a gymnast whenever I was younger, so like I had never cheered before, but I had the tumbling for it, so I was like, why not just try out for JV cheer? Like the second or third day of tryouts, I sprained my wrist and then I did something to my elbow. Like it wasn't broken or anything. Can you break an elbow? Probably. Anyways, I did something to my elbow while doing my back handspring and I was in so much pain and the doctor would not allow me to try out for cheer. And so I remember having to drop out of cheer tryouts and everyone thinking that I just like chickened out and like I didn't know what I was doing and I didn't want to cheer. But like in reality, I really hurt myself. That happened more often than not. I remember wanting to be on the cheerleading team in high school so freaking bad and I couldn't. Also, I got my first boyfriend freshman year, but it was really awkward. I also invited a girl over and she was one of my middle school friends that I was trying to like get out of the way in high school. She came to stay the night and we were outside playing and she threw my phone like across my yard. We were going out that night. We were gonna go roller skating with my cousin and then we were going to go eat dinner, and my mom was like, look, you guys can order anything you want from the menu, just be sure like to order water because I'm paying for like your roller skating and everything and you can just get a soda like while you're roller skating. So I told her, I was like, hey, like you can order anything, just get a water. I remember she came back to school that next Monday saying that my family was poor and that my mother only made me drink water and that I was never allowed to drink soda. Okay, so that is all I remember from my freshman year. We're going to be going through my yearbook for that year. So sorry I don't really remember anything from my freshman year. I don't know if I was involved freshman year at all. Let's see. Oh, I just flipped to my picture. Guys, this is so embarrassing. Your girl was struggling. That's your girl. Wow, she's so cute. Oh my gosh, I do not want to relive this right now. I don't even think I made it on like the freshman page. I really don't think I did. That's so depressing. It has your name and like where you can be found in the yearbook. One moment. I was on the tennis team freshman year. I completely forgot about that. Guys, send help. I did join the tennis team because I was like, I want to be part of a sport throughout my high school career, and I thought tennis was it. Tennis was not it. Fun fact, I was not good at tennis at all. Something happened and I got really good all of a sudden and like started moving up and like was a really good player like near the end of the season. There your girl is. She's working the tennis outfit. So that was my freshman year of high school. Okay, so now we're going into sophomore year. I just wrote things down like as I remembered them, so they're not really going to be in order. I remember being asked to prom my first time, but it was by my guy friend, and it really doesn't count because the only reason why he asked me was because his first choice said no in front of a ton of people. Like I was there recording it whenever she said no, and it was really awkward. Now she's married and she has a baby. I remember going to a birthday party at my sophomore year and everything was chill, like nothing wrong was going on, but it was like my first like party, but it really wasn't a party. Like it was literally like a straight up birthday party, but it was held at night, and so like it was more of like a party scene, I guess. Anyways, there were people grinding and like kissing and stuff, and I remember crying, like bawling my eyes out, running to the bathroom and calling my mom to come pick me up. Oh my gosh, this is a huge thing that happened. Okay, so girl that I knew, she would sit right next to me and she would always cheat off of me in my science class, and I knew she cheated off of me. Okay, and the teacher that we had, he was like known to be like a pedophile. There had been stuff that had happened in his past that like, anyway, he favored girls that looked pretty and that like looked more grown up, if you know what I mean. She was that person. She looked more grown up than me. Obviously, we saw the picture of what I looked like freshman year. Anyways, this one test, I remember writing down all of my answers and I was trying to cover them up the most that I can, but I kept noticing that she would not write unless I wrote something. So I went up to the teacher afterwards and was like, hey, like this girl is cheating on me, like snitch, it's fine. So he was like, okay, well, I'll take a look at it, no problem. A couple of days we get the test back and she's got a 100 and I have a 0. And I was like, whoa, that's not supposed to be happening. So I go back up to the teacher, I'm like, hey, like I'm not understanding why I have a 0. And he was like, oh, you have the same exact answers as her. And I was like, yeah, but I went up to you like last week and I told you like, you know, what happened. He was like, yeah, I know, I find that very hard to believe. So obviously I went to my mom about it because it was a 0 on a test. Did not like my principal throughout my public school years. He was not nice to me. Do not like him whatsoever. And whenever my mom went to go talk to him and like set up a meeting and I was there and we like explained the whole situation, and he said there's literally nothing he can do about it. And he was like, no, because we have no proof, we have no camera, so like we really can't tell you if they were cheating or not. And who's to say that your daughter's not the cheater? Even though I always had a better grade in the class than this one girl that magically got a 100 on her test. So my mom asked, can you change her class, or can you like ask the teacher to change the seating arrangements? And he's like, no, there's nothing we can do. She has to stay in this class the rest of the year. And this was early on. This had to be like early September and we started mid-August. Okay, so this is really upsetting and I didn't really know if I wanted to bring this up, but this is like a big thing that happened in my high school career. One of my guy friends passed away my sophomore year, and I'm gonna try not to get emotional about this. So he passed away my sophomore year of high school, and it was really hard on me, and he passed away in a car accident with 2 other students that was in his class, and there was one survivor of the whole entire accident, and he is still here. Let me like collect myself for a second. This happened right whenever Thanksgiving break was starting. I think it was like, gosh, I think it was like that Friday or Saturday we got out for Thanksgiving break is whenever the accident happened. I'm not too sure. I did get the chance to go to every single one of the boys' funerals that had passed away. I was close with 2 of them, but one of them I really didn't know, but my friend knew him really well, so I went to that funeral just like to comfort her more during it than like for me be there for myself. I feel like there's so much going on. Like there's a lawnmower, there's a blender going, I don't know what's going on. The boy that I was closest with, his funeral was on Sunday, so like it was almost like a full week or so after the accident had happened that he was buried. And I remember going to his funeral and I was a complete mess, and we had school the next day, obviously, like it's the Monday after Thanksgiving break, and I just remember not being able to go. Like I was so emotionally upset and drained that I couldn't go out. So my mom was fine with it. She was like, look, if you don't want to go right now, you do not have to, like you can take as much time as you need. Some teachers were understanding and knew that it was like a big tragedy that happened in our high school. There was a couple teachers, which I don't know why this would happen. But whenever I wasn't there, they threatened to fail me out of the whole entire class because I was being too dramatic over what had just happened and that I needed to get myself in school. Literally word for word what they said. Like, the teachers were trying like to not let me make up work. They were trying to completely get me out of their class, like completely flunk me out, just because I needed those couple days after my friend's funeral to not go to school and like collect myself. Like 3 to 4 weeks after that, I didn't talk to anybody. I remember like it was 3 to 4 weeks. Yeah, it had to have been, because then we were on Christmas break and I had time like to be by myself. But it hit me really hard. It still does, obviously. I still get like choked up about it. It was just a very big tragedy that happened in our high school. We had a lot of deaths in my high school. I think it got up to like 8 or 9 while I was in high school. There were so many deaths from students in our high school that most of our counselors left, and their reasoning was there was too much grief roaming the halls. Ask me how I feel about that. Ugh, that's so annoying. The end of my sophomore year, I decided to try out for cheer. I made varsity cheer my sophomore year. Again, I hurt myself during tryouts and I was not able to throw my back handspring during tryouts, but I still made the team. Don't really know how, probably shouldn't have. Then I remember this is like summer going into junior year. Okay, so if you guys are cheerleaders or like you went to UCA? Is it called UCA? Gosh, I'm gonna sound like an idiot if this isn't. Whatever, like the cheer organization camp thing that they do, they give out like an award, and it was like, I don't even know the award name, but it was given from like your camp. I only went to cheer camp 1 year, okay? Like, don't be hating on me for this. But it was like your camp, not counselor, but like cheerleader. Anyways, it was basically an award, and it was like a sweet award. It was basically like whoever like was the kindest, I think, or like the sweetest, best attitude, whatever. I brought this up to my mom the other day, and she was like, oh my gosh, Lauren, I remember this happening. The girl that was like my mentor cheerleader person mixed mine and another girl's name up. This girl that she gave it to literally was the witchiest girl I have ever met in my life. Anyways, they mixed us up, and so she got the award and I didn't. And I remember after like that girl going to get her award, that cheerleader came up to me and she was like, Lauren, I'm so sorry, I mixed up your name and I didn't realize that I was calling her and not you. Like, it was supposed to be you. And I just remember sitting there like, if this isn't my life. Okay, so now we're going through the yearbook for my sophomore year. Oh my gosh, and sophomore year, I don't know how I forgot this. I was in like the theater club or like theater class. I don't really know what they call it there. I was part of that my sophomore year. Got the lead in my fall show, which was Putnam County Spelling Bee, and I got Olive. And then that spring, we did Bring It On. And I remember not being able to make it to callbacks because of my friend that passed away. And so I did not get to have a callback. And so I got a very tiny role, which was messed up. But that's another thing that I really don't want to get into right now. Ew, why do these pictures exist? There your girl is. Working hard. Oh my gosh, I forgot about all these people. I wonder where all these people are right now. I feel like I got something sophomore year.
Hey, it's Editing Lauren. So yes, I did get something sophomore year. I got sophomore class favorite, but it was like with like 10 other people. Whenever they were announcing sophomore class favorites, instead of Lauren Norris, they said my name over the intercom as Lauren Mold.
I was a class officer sophomore year also. I was a treasurer. I didn't do anything. Okay, so this is like the sophomore page. I'm seeing if I'm on it yet again. Don't think I am. Also with the theater thing, we went to Trumbauer, which is like a theater competition. I don't know if it's like all over. I know that it was like in Alabama because like that's where I went to school. But anyways, I did a duet with my friend and we actually won. Like, we were state champions for our duet and it was really actually cool. Okay, so this is the theater page. Try to show you this the best that I can. This light that I have going for this video is not helping this whatsoever. So that is your girl strutting her stuff. You know, very tiny over here. And then that's your girl also. I think that's me. Is that me? Yeah, that is me. I remember being in a bunch of clubs also, but I didn't do anything in the club. Like, this school did not do anything with their clubs whatsoever. Literally, it was so annoying. Okay, so keep in mind that I'm still like, the summer of my junior year, I'm still enrolled and still a cheerleader at my public school. I was not expecting to move schools. I was not expecting anything like this to happen, but it did, and I'll get into all that. So while I was on the cheer team, obviously we had like conditioning all during the summer, and this one girl, remember the girl that I said was really mean that got the award whenever I was supposed to get it? Okay, her. She would literally yell at me every single day. She was a senior, and so she felt, I guess, like she could like be rude. I just remember this one time, she literally like pushed me and like stepped on my foot, and she was like, why can't you do anything right? She like screamed it at my face, and I was just sitting there and I was like, did this girl just... It was so annoying. She was the worst experience of my cheerleading, whatever this was. She made it so miserable. I just need a second. I need a second. Like, obviously you guys don't know who it is, and I highly doubt that this person's ever going to be watching this video because, like, she probably still hates me. She was very rude, and it wasn't just me that noticed it, it was other people that noticed it. And I remember just always coming home from cheer practice like crying my eyes out because I hated it. She was always yelling at me, and she was always like degrading me, and it was just sucky. Like, why would girls do that to other girls? I don't know. We're getting into like the bullying and like the girl like cattiness now, so welcome. That was like summer, so I went through all of like the summer conditioning, went to cheer camp, everything. And then I went to my first week at that public school. I was like, I hate doing cheer. I hate being at this school. I hate everything about it. And like literally the teachers didn't care about me. Like the teachers were so mean. They did not care about their student. I'm like getting worked up about this right now. So I asked my mom about this because I felt like she would remember a little bit better about like what happened on why I left this school. But basically I feel like it was a lot of things gone in together, and I know that there are things that we don't really remember that happened. I remember something really bad happening, but I guess this is my brain being like blocking out like the bad experiences. Something happened, and it was literally like my 4th or 5th day of school, and I had like a cheer meeting or something, and my mom went to the cheer meeting. At the cheer meeting, my mom went up to the coach and said that she was pulling me out of school and that they will never see me again. I was like, and she was like, Lauren, we're pulling you out and we're homeschooling you. And I was like, what? And she was like, you hate being there, I hate you being there, we're going tomorrow morning and we're pulling you out. So they were like threatening to not let me get out of school. I don't really know why they were making such a big deal of like me dropping out of the school, but like I wasn't dropping out, I was like literally like transitioning into like homeschooling. Then this school said that I owed a ton of money because they had like technology fees and library fees, and anyways, I did not owe that money whatsoever. I had the receipts to it, and they literally tried making me pay like over $200 within fees when I had the receipts. Good try. I remember the cheer coach like emailing my mother and was like, your daughter has to come in here and apologize and explain herself to the cheer team because it was very immature and rude of what your daughter did. Which, first off, it wasn't my choice to get brought out of school. I didn't ever go back. I never explained myself because I didn't feel like I needed to, and it was just awkward. Like, why would I go back there when a couple of the girls really didn't like me on the team? At that time, whenever I was getting pulled out and I was starting homeschooling, my grandfather offered to pay for the last 2 years of my private school, and I'm so forever grateful for that because I really don't know where I'd be without my grandparents and without my grandfather. I remember him saying like, tour a couple private schools, see what you like, and then we'll like go from there. My best friend at the time, she did not go to school with me. She went to a private school in like the town over, and she was like, you really need to come to my school, you'd really like it. So I remember going to her school, and it was a super tiny school. I'm saying like K4 through 12th grade had maybe like 40 people in it. Not even exaggerating, maybe less. I just remember going in there and it was super awkward. I had like 4 people in my class. I just felt really awkward. But one of the last classes of the day, like our like little Bible class, and the Bible teacher that I had, obviously, okay, they told me up front, they were like, you don't need to bring anything with you. You don't need to bring a pencil. You don't need to bring paper, anything. You're just here to enjoy the day, see what you like, blah, blah. So obviously I have nothing. I literally have my car keys and my phone. And this man is like, so you think you can just come to school without your Bible? And I was like literally called me out in front of like this whole entire class. And this isn't just a class of like 4 people. It was like combined grades, I guess. Anyways, calls me out, makes me stand up, walk to the front of the room, and he was like, this is what God does not want you to do. I was just sitting there and I started to cry. I was like, oh my gosh, this is not happening right now. And I apologized. I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I have a Bible. Like, I would have brought it. Like, I have it on my phone. Like, is that okay? And he was like, we don't use phones in this. And you shouldn't have the Bible on your phone. You should have the Bible in your hand. And I was like, I remember texting my friend and being like, girl, like, help me, cannot stay here, calling my mom, because it was just very awkward. I knew from the moment that I stepped in there that I did not belong there. Anyways, and so I texted my mom. I was like, Mom, I can't stay here. Please just let me go to this one other school, which is the school that I ended up with. And I ended up falling in love with the school, loved all the faculty, and I started there literally the day after my interview. So then once I moved to the different school, one girl on the cheer team made up the lie that I was pregnant, which made no sense. Didn't have a boyfriend at the time, never did anything to be able to have a baby, and it was just like, really? So I started my new school, found a great group of girls, loved my time at PCA. I loved everything about it, especially like my junior year. Nothing really happened. I felt very much at home. I felt like it was a great Christian atmosphere. I started talking to a guy that went to that public school. He like didn't want to date me. and he didn't want anyone knowing that we were like talking, that we were hanging out, and it was really weird. And I confronted him about it, and I was like, this is really weird. Like, you don't want anyone to know that we're talking. Like, it's like he was embarrassed about me, but we would hang out literally all the time, but he wouldn't tell his friends, he wouldn't tell his family, nothing. So my friends that were in the theater department at that public school, they were doing like Elf the Musical or something, and I was going to go see it. Well, whenever I went to go see it, that boy was in it. Like, obviously we were still talking at this time, so I go up and say hi to him or whatever, and he completely disses me, acts like he doesn't see me. And that night he has the audacity to text me that night, and he says, hey, sorry, my family was there and I didn't want them to know that I was talking to a girl. Also, got asked to prom yet again, but it was at my best friend's school, the school that I didn't want to stay at, that like that whole entire fiasco happened. And I got asked by one of our like guy best friends, and it was because his girlfriend broke up with him the night before prom. I was like, okay, I'll take one for the team, like, you know, it'll be fun like to be with our friends. Well, he didn't view it as a friend thing, and that was whenever I had a problem with it. He was making comments the whole entire night, like how he wanted to do stuff afterwards and how he like really liked me, and he was like trying to touch me. No. I just told him nicely and gently. I was like, hey, like, I really can't hang out after this tonight. Like, I'm going back over to Taylor's house. He flips out on me. Okay, literally this boy walks out. And keep in mind, this was a tiny school, so there was not a lot of people there, and it wasn't even a prom. It was a junior senior banquet. So like, it was dinner. Like, we were sitting down at dinner, and he gets up and leaves, and I'm just sitting there, and I get so embarrassed that I start crying. So anyways, the principal was there, everyone was there, everyone knew what he had done and like how he had left, like literally just left me. Everyone else was there, and I felt so bad because that was Taylor's senior prom with her boyfriend, now her husband. But I felt so bad because we had to leave early because of me, because I didn't have a date, and I was like, we can stay, like I can just chill here like with the faculty. That scared me so bad that I ended up not going to my junior prom at PCA because I was scared of the same thing happening. Now going into the yearbook. So the school that I ended up going to was a K-5 through 12th grade school as well, but it was a little bit bigger. Okay, this one wasn't that bad of a picture. There your girl is. I remember having to go outside because I missed like the school picture day. I don't really remember being involved my first year in PCA just because I was trying like to transition into everything. Yeah, like I don't think I'm in any of these pictures. Oh, I'm just kidding. I was in theater at PCA. This is another thing that happened. So they didn't have like an actual like theater teacher, like theater director there. It was basically just like an elementary ed man, but like he didn't teach like a class. Well, he did. He taught like music or something for like littles. Anyways, we did High School Musical. I come from like a big theater background. Obviously, I had done theater basically my whole life, and he typecasted the whole entire show except me and this one other dude. Literally typecasted everyone. Like, if you had blonde hair, you're Sharpay. If you had dark brown hair, you're Gabriella. I ended up being Taylor McKessie, and this other dude was Chad. Obviously, we were not typecasted for numerous reasons. Okay, so that is all I have for my junior year. Okay, so the most eventful of them all, senior year. I'm super grateful that I got to graduate from PCA, but a ton of drama happened within PCA. We're going to be talking about that right now. So senior year, I had some guy go up to a girl and offer to buy her Chick-fil-A just to have that girl talk to me and get my opinions on this boy. I said negative. I said no because I was a little awkward, but that happened. I was SGA secretary, I think I was secretary my senior year. There were certain times where I was asked to do the morning announcements. I don't know why the vice president wouldn't, but I did. I don't know. Anyways, we had like a banana race, and I said banana in front of the whole entire school. Like, you know, like how like you pick up the phone and you're like, good morning class, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. These are the winners of the banana race. I remember being a mentor for 8th graders within PCA too my senior year, and I absolutely loved it. So senior year started off pretty well, but then I think, oh gosh, had to be right before Thanksgiving. I basically got the plague. I don't know what happened. I had rashes all over my body. I couldn't breathe. I was super duper sick. Had to be out of school for about 2 weeks. Whenever I first got really sick and I had like to leave school and like do everything from home for a couple weeks, everything was fine. But whenever I came back, things were weird and people were looking at me differently, and I was like, what's going on? Well, apparently some of the girls that I had been hanging out with started a rumor about me throughout the whole entire school, making most of the school turn their back on me. Honestly, don't really remember what they said, but I remember a lot of other details that we will be going into. So whenever I came back from being super sick, I had about 3 friends. Like, not even kidding, had 3 friends. Then I remember it was like tacky Christmas sweater day or something, and so I wore my tacky Christmas sweater, and then I wore like cat jingle bell ears. It had like, obviously it was like little cat ears, and then it had like little jingle bells on them. I don't know, I figured it went with like Christmas. Anyways, I wore them, and one of the mean girls that like had started everything and like really didn't like me called me a slut because I was wearing cat ears. Also, I was in theater again, and we had a new theater director, and we did the show Peter Pan, and I got casted as Wendy. One of my favorite shows I had ever done. Literally, I'm so thankful that that was my senior year show. Like, it meant so much to me. I love Peter Pan, and being able to portray Wendy was an absolute dream, and I absolutely loved it. But whenever I got casted as the lead, and it was like announced over like the intercom or whatever in our school, the same mean girl that said I was a slut because of my cat ears started saying that I couldn't sing and that she didn't understand why I was casted as the lead and I was such a horrible person. Like, why would I be doing this? All this stuff, literally talking like out loud in class. Like, people have like video recordings of like her saying this about me. One of the girls in the mean friend group, she also liked to sing. So apparently I couldn't like to sing either. We couldn't have the same favorite hobby. Anyways, I thought this was hilarious because she thought she was like the hot stuff. She never did anything within the school. Like, she was never involved whatsoever. Roll around to graduation and the faculty asked me to sing at the graduation and not her. A little bit of revenge. So then the mean girls made a compliment wall. It was a senior girl only compliment wall. And you know, they put it on a hallway, first off, that doesn't have any video cameras, so you don't know who writes what you write. No kidding, guys. Right when they put it up, they write something nasty underneath my name. One of my 3 friends that I had left like went over there and like they like colored it in like with a heart or something, and then like wrote several compliments about me underneath it. But yeah, that happened on our senior compliment wall. I would literally have like crying mental breakdowns during my senior year of high school just because of how horrible the girls were to me and how mean they were. Like, they did not let up, and I wouldn't say anything to them. I would not acknowledge them. If I fought fire with fire, it would just get bad. So I didn't say anything. I stayed out of it. I didn't want to go to my counselor about it. I had a feeling that because these girls were shown in such a great light at the school, because they had been going there for a lot of their lives and people knew them better than the new girl, obviously, that it wasn't going to get me anywhere. So I really stayed to myself about it. Also about these girls is that they had a fake Instagram, and that is where they would post their underage drinking videos and everything that they would do on the weekends. They obviously wouldn't let me or like the 3 friends that I had on the page, but people would like, obviously it like circulated the school, and whenever my mom saw it, she threatened to send it to every single one of their parents. But yeah, they were going out and partying in college towns a lot of the weekends, and one girl even got alcohol poisoning and was out of school for a little bit. So we had this thing called the Bagheera clubs in PCA, and every single student in 6th through 12th grade was assigned a group, and they spelled out Bagheera. I don't really know what the point of these were, but I really enjoyed it, and I actually got president of my club. So I was club enthusiasm, and like the clubs were like bravery, respect, enthusiasm. Anyways, I was president of mine, and that was really, really cool. And you would do things throughout the year like the banana race or like whatever to like win points, and we ended up actually winning the whole entire thing. And every single person in my group got $100, and then one lucky person got $1,000. I don't really remember who the girl was that won the $1,000. Underneath the Bagheera clubs, like one of the things that you could do was enter the school talent show, and I actually won the school talent show. I sang Kindergarten Love Song, and your girl was struggling. Insert clip here.
I noticed you noticed my crayon collection, and I noticed you were missing your blue. You could borrow mine if you wanted, if that's something that you'd like to do. Do you want to play games? I like to play ninja, or we can pretend we can fly. Or maybe it's just because I think that I like you. Never mind, your mom's involved.
Remember my guy friend that passed away my sophomore year? So his family put up together like a memorial scholarship, and I actually ended up getting awarded his memorial scholarship to go towards my college fund, which, guys, at that time, literally, oh my gosh, I was so ecstatic, and I was so happy to be able to do that because it was like a little piece of him still here with me. But my senior year wasn't like completely horrible. I was part of chapel. We would have chapel Tuesdays and Thursdays, I believe. It was like student led, and it was basically like a worship time, or like it was basically like a little mini church service, if that makes sense. I made up this thing. Okay, so obviously my name is Lauren Norris, so my initials are like LN, and so I wanted something fun to do for chapel, like to keep people like entertained, and so I came up with the LN show, like Ellen DeGeneres, and so it was a big hit, and it was really fun. My chapel like hit different. People really liked the LN show, and people always asked if we were going to do it, and I remember us going like so hardcore. We also did something called Totally Tubular Aerobics, which I will insert a video here. Yeah, I did that in front of the whole entire school. We had one about talents, and so we would like get like guest stars, and it would be like the faculty members, and like they would do like their secret talent. My secret talent was being able to hula hoop. I had a light up hula hoop, and I literally did a hula hoop routine in front of my whole school. This is probably why I never had a boyfriend, but anyways, so there was a lot of great memorable experiences throughout my senior year. So yeah, I embarrassed myself a lot through high school, not going to lie, but I mean, that was just me, and I really didn't care because my senior year, I was getting made fun of anyways for literally doing the bare minimum and really not doing anything. I was president of that Bagheera club. I was president of the drama club. I was SGA secretary. Oh my gosh, the summons just fell over. I was part of the key club, but there were a couple girls that were in my grade that I really enjoyed hanging out with, that we took trips with, and like we always hung out, and they were super sweet. I still hang out with Jenny like all the time, and it's super duper sweet, and I love her to pieces. My battery is dying, so let me charge my battery real quick and I'll be right back.
Okay, so I'm going to be showing you my senior yearbook through my phone just because I'll be able like to show you a little bit better, and since my camera battery is still charging. Okay, so this was your girl's senior picture. My senior quote was, "You have to go through your Elwoods crying alone in a budding costume phase to get to your Elwoods kicking butt at law school phase." Still stand by this. That's whenever me and my friends dressed as Kiss for a dress-up day. This was actually at my graduation tea. Remember when I said I won the school talent show? This was the picture they decided to put in the yearbook. Love that. Also, we had like a winter fest, and I decided to come dressed as Anna and like brought my whole crew. We were basically there for the elementary kids, but they really liked it. And then this is the drama club page, and then this was just us doing our show. That was Peter Pan. So, you know, your girl is just Wendy Darling over here. This picture is actually still in my high school in our coffee shop. Like, it is blown up and it is in our coffee shop. Oh, I miss this so much. Okay, so like I said about chapel, please let me know why my feet are like that. I don't really know. Anyways, part of chapel, and then this is the picture they decided to put in there. That was our totally tubular aerobics. Okay, and then this had to do with like the Bagheera club thing. So like, these are like the different Bagheera clubs, but this one was mine, obviously Club Enthusiasm, and we were club winners. There is me, the president. I think that's me. Yeah, that is me, and then this is also me winning the school talent show. This was during junior senior banquet. I wore a Lily Pulitzer dress my senior prom. It's fine. So there is your girl singing with some people at graduation, and that's your girl during graduation as well.
So wrapping up my senior year, all my teachers I absolutely loved. They always wanted me to succeed. They always wanted me to do the best that I possibly could. I loved my senior year teachers, and I absolutely loved my junior year teachers as well, and that is something that I can't say about the public school experience. Also, it turns out that whenever you're a senior at PCA, or at least it was whenever I was going there, is that each member of the faculty in the high school part of it, I believe, they got assigned a senior student to pray for every single day. Turns out that my guidance counselor had me to pray for every single day. As I realized that, it kind of made me regret not going to her whenever I was being bullied and whenever I was not having the best time. She came up to me at the end of the school year and she was like, "Lauren, I have been praying for you every single day of your senior year." And she doesn't know, but she was praying for me at the time that I needed it really the most during my high school career. It was so touching to me to know that she was there for me and that she was praying for me. So yeah, I'm sorry if this came off as like a horrible experience type thing. Probably not what you were expecting. Kind of interesting to see how everything turns out and how people can grow from high school or how they just remain the same. But anyways, if you are going through high school right now, or if you're just having a bad experience, just know that it does get better. And like, a lot of people don't talk to their high school friends after high school. Some people do. I personally don't, and a lot of my friends don't either. You go in two different directions a lot of the time, and it can get a little sticky. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know this is going to be a lengthy video because I have been recording for so long. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, and if you want to join the family, you can click that subscribe button also. I love you guys so much, and I'll be seeing you guys on Monday. Bye! 'Cause you know that I'm already